Oh, hey y'all. I was having a problem with this thing, but now I finally got it to record. Yay! Alright, let's get to it. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about Antifa because I made that video about RAM and not the RAM on your computer, but RAM, the white nationalist next door. I got a few comments on my thing about all of these super extra patriotic RAM supporters that was trying to explain to me that RAM was not coming for me, that I needn't worry, that they were specifically training for Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Now, I wanted to take a big sigh of relief, like, whew, thank God these new white supremacists are going to support my life. Then as I said that, I said, oh wait, I'm a black person. And if I want to live, that means it's a black life that's mattering, and that's what they're against. So I decided maybe they're just more so against Antifa than Black Lives Matter, because standing against black lives is a difficult stance to take, I think. So I was like, well, what distinguishes me from these Antifa and Black Lives Matter people? And who are these people? Like, do they meet? Like, RAM actually has meetings, as you guys saw from the video. Not only do they have meetings, but they have workout sessions. You know, they they try to take care of themselves and make sure they'll be ready, as what I have colloquially dubbed them, the White People's Protection Association. So I was like, let me see if I can contact these Antifa people and tell them, like, stay out of California because they coming for you. So I looked it up. I tried to see, and let me show y'all some of the articles that I found. I do not want y'all looking at this. Okay. The public face of Antifa. Who is Antifa? So on Wikipedia, they put this stuff about Hitler and Mussolini. I do understand this is the Washington Post. But on Wikipedia here, when it talks about Wikipedia, it includes, it defines Antifa as anti-fascism, and so it lists other anti-fascist, see if I can make this bigger for you, other anti-fascist organizations such as Mussolini's black shirts, Adolf Hitler's brown shirts, and Francisco Franco's army. So these are all, I guess, according to Wikipedia, these are similar organizations. But if you continue on down here in the Washington Post, it says, the alt-right didn't really have the name, and they were scouring CD message board and researching clandestine neo-Nazi gatherings. Let's see where it says an actual definition of what they are. So it says here, the vast majority of Antifa organizing is non-violent. Antifa itself is not an interconnected organization any more than an ideology like socialism. So it's not an actual group. That's why I thought it was completely made up, because they're not an organization in the way that organizations meet and organize. This is more of, like they're saying, is an ideology, a common ideology. And it says here the vast majority is nonviolent, but their willingness, not like surety, not like guarantee, but just the willingness to physically defend themselves and others from white supremacist violence is what separates them from liberal anti-racist. So that kind of scared me, because I realized that technically would make me Antifa. Because that means that if I go to an event, a protest event, and I am willing, not even that I do it, but just willing to defend myself physically from a violent attack from a white supremacist, that makes me Antifa. Which is kind of scary, because Ram says they're out here against Antifa, and all of these other groups and organizations and on TV, they make Antifa seem like this horrible organization. But now I know there's no actual meetings, there's not any real organization to join, there's no leaders, there's just people who are willing to physically defend themselves against white supremacy groups, and that makes you a terrorist organization with no organization. It's just very interesting. I did find some groups that are associated with Antifa. You have New York City Antifa, then there's this Louisville Antifa. Notice the lack of brown complexion in this young lady. I just want to just bring that up. Also, here, notice the lack of any sort of melanin in her hair. It is just straight as the day is long. Not that I have anything against my straight-haired brothers and sisters. I love y'all very much. But this fight tends to be drawn in racial lines and terms. And to me, as a Negroid person, when I'm looking at this young lady here on the Antifa website, she looks phenotypically just like the people who are in the white nationalist organizations. So I think white people, this is something that y'all just need to work out yourselves. Like, why y'all including us in this? It's only 10% of us here, and y'all done locked up 50% of us in jails. And then the rest that's left is killing each other. You know, maybe we should work on that. You right. Maybe we should. And then y'all could work on this whole, like, Antifa, you know, white nationalist situation. But I just don't feel like you guys should bash us as Antifa, as a black organization that's negative and violent, when the definition of it is just somebody that's just willing. I mean, how many people, like, is there a women's organization like that? Like Anti-Ma is women who are willing to physically resist violent attacks on them by men. Then can you imagine if we ostracized that group of people, even though they had no organization, no real leader, and we ostracized all of them and marginalized all of them, all those stupid Anti-Ma people willing to resist rape. I'm just saying, like, what are we saying here in America? That, like, I'm a bad person if I physically resist somebody wanting to kill me? That makes me Antifa? I think we should, like, reorganize what we're feeling about this. I just wanted to spread that, and whoever wants to know, you can go on Wikipedia yourself, and you can look, and you can see there's all these loose ragtag groups, but there's no official organization. There's no official leader. It's just a bunch of people who feel like in America they have the right to resist violence. And is that what we're saying in America is bad? Is that what we're doing here? Is that it? Like, you shouldn't resist violence? They are looking up white supremacy protests. That they are doing. And I guess we could say that that's bad. I don't know. Like, it's a group of people who admit that they don't like other people because of outward reasons. Nothing to do with what's happening in here. But they solely judge a person based on what they see. And they hate them. And they want them to move away. And so we're saying that if you decide to go and be confrontational with somebody who hates you and is trying to enact legislation and is trying to convince people to hate you as well, if you go and actively confront them, you are a terrorist organization. I mean, is that what we're saying? I mean, that can be what America is saying, but that's just not the America that I grew up knowing. I don't know. That's it.